Hi, this is Adam. This is Amy from TiPJAR.
Hello.
Day 2, Hospitality Tech. This stand looks very familiar. I'm sure I saw it about a month ago, but we have a different person from TiPJAR today, which is good.
Yep.
So, Amy, tell us a little bit about TiPJAR.
So TiPJAR is a digital tipping and trunk management solution for all hospitality businesses, helping to manage trunk in time with the legislation as well. So ensuring it's fair, transparent for all businesses, ensuring compliance as well.
Because that new legislation's come out, right? When did it activate? It was the beginning of this month, right?
Yeah, from the 1st of October.
Right. So lots of businesses aren't really sure what's happening, right?
Yeah, so a big change for operators and a massive change in the industry, but really ensuring that giving back to people in the hospitality industry as well. And, making sure that hospitality is a career for those people coming into it.
Nice. Especially with the cashless generation, right? That's the other challenge we have. Lots of people just don't have it anymore.
Yeah, much more of a cashless society. So with some of the solutions that we have, allowing customers.
I've seen some really cool stuff that you're doing with like integration into the actual like credit card machines as well. Can you share a bit about that as well?
Yeah, exactly. So, making it a real seamless journey for a customer. So still one transaction for them. They've got the option to how much they want to tip, percentage wise, making it a lot easier for businesses as well.
Yeah. So you guys can actually split that data, right? Split the payment so that the business doesn't even need to worry about having, because the challenge is, right, you have the service charge, then things need to be split and the business needs to do the work. Yeah. You guys have sort of built that into splitting the money, right?
Yeah. So with some of our partners with Rotor Systems, POS systems that we work with as well, ensuring that automation of that process is great for businesses. So getting the hours, that important data, the tips that are collected, and we can manage that split for them.
Awesome.
So
amazing. Well, thank you very much. This is Amy from TiPJAR. Where do they find TiPJAR? Online, I guess. Just search for TiPJAR.
Online, yeah. We are TiPJAR.com.
To be fair, if you need to find them today, I mean, well, this isn't going to be posted now, but you are in the middle of Hospitality Tech with a giant sign up there. So
we are, exactly.
Thank you. See you later.
Bye.
Hello, everyone. This is Adam. Day 2, Hospitality Tech. Bit calmer this morning. I don't know. I got it early. So this is Margaux from Lightspeed. Say hello.
Good morning.
Let's bring that just there. Lovely. So because the mics, I've got a separate second mic today, so it's all good. Right. Margaux's from Lightspeed. I don't know if you probably can't see it, but there's a big old stand behind me, or the lanyard. Margaux's going to tell us a little bit about Lightspeed, because not everyone knows. Obviously, a lot of people do know about Lightspeed, but give us a little highlight about Lightspeed, what it does, why people need it. Off you go.
Absolutely. So Lightspeed is a POS system unified with payments. It's an amazing tool for restaurants. Really simple. It's your till in a restaurant. Everyone needs one, so you should pick Lightspeed.
So I'm going to go a bit deeper because there's some new stuff that's come out, which is really cool on the analytics, right? So Lightspeed has integrated payments, which other people talk about integrated payments, but they don't do much with it. So I think there's a little bit more that you guys have done I think it's just been the new report bit has been released, right?
Yeah, benchmark.
Can you share a bit more about that?
Yeah, of course. So advanced insight and benchmark trends. Essentially, it just helps restaurants to understand a bit more what's happening under their roof. So they're looking into their menus. We have a magic quadrant, for example, that looks into, it's a cool name as well. Very, cool. Very cheeky name. But yeah, it's really cool that you basically look into your items and you kind of play around with it to see what are your best sellers. And then you can play around with your menu. For example, if your mozzarella sticks are always being ordered, but you can see they're at the bottom of your menu, maybe bump it up to the top. You're more likely to sell them, helps the staff as well to upsell. And the new feature that's really cool is called, the benchmark trend. And that's essentially looking at where you sit in the market, around your area. If you see there's other Italian restaurants, where do you sit against them?
That's probably because of the explosion of Lightspeed. You have a lot more customers.
Unified payments helped us to pull that data.
So that anonymous data is now, because it's anonymous and it's not linked to anyone, it can be used, right?
Yeah, exactly. So for example, I have my French card, but I also have my HSBC card, but I have a unique identifier. So whichever card I use, they'll just know that it's, code 27 or something like that. So
I'm able to see if I'm a restaurant, Italian restaurant, as you said, I can go in and go, hold on, they're making a lot more money than I am. What's going on? What are we doing wrong in that area, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's really interesting because the challenge you have is with traditional POS, it's just a bit, right? So there's not much insights into it. Can you talk about how you guys are a little bit more open than others? I talk a lot about being open and have the availability, because I think when Mike came on, it was all very much about the ecosystem. You're very much partner driven.
Very much partner driven, very much transparency, visibility, and wanting to support the customer. And so a lot of it of what we do is essentially to help the customer out. So everything, people get scared saying, oh, I'm going to share my data, etc. But it's for them, it's to help them understand their business more. And like you said, we work really closely with our partners. For example, here today, we've partnered with The Fork and Nori to try and get that full stack for the customer. So if anyone comes up to us and kind of needs, they need a bit of guidance of how to get going, is the perfect test stack to kind of get it all.
Thank you very much. Wave goodbye to everyone. This is day two.
Morning.
Hello, everyone. This is Adam. And this is Sophie from Grateful. Day 2 at Hospitality Tech. And we're learning all about Grateful, because I'm grateful to be here on day 2. Sorry, pun.
And we are grateful to have you on day 2.
Amazing. So, Sophie, tell us a little bit about Grateful.
Okay, cool. So we are a hospitality trunk and tipping platform. We have been built to completely automate and streamline your tipping and trunk processes in line with new legislation, which came into effect on the 1st of October. If you don't know, then you probably should know. But in a nutshell, we, from an operational perspective, are really there to take the pressure off of a business in a way which almost we act as an MSP, so they don't have to worry about anything in relation to it. And then obviously,
because you also, sorry, I'm going to interrupt you there. You also have, because we had Mason on it a while ago. Yeah. You've got the little chat feature, right? So you can ask requests.
Yes. So any questions, anything, any concerns, anything that. Basically, what we've done is preempt what an employee would potentially ask. Now this legislation has come into play. So they've got a feature which they can get in contact us with. We can give them the support and basically take away that added admin or worry on the business of them thinking, my God, I need to answer this or provide the tip data or the trunk policy. It's all handled, everything.
Nice. And then like a one-liner of what this legislations mean. It's all about fairness, right?
Yeah, basically just giving the employee what they rightly deserve within the hospitality space. Like, I think it's a given. Like, it's a really challenging industry and people work so hard to not receive what you've rightly earned.
Yeah. I also find it really interesting that it's not just restaurants and bars and hotels, but it's also beauty, health, and everything else.
Salons, all of that thing.
It's really, because you forget, right?
You do.
Older people will have cash on them.
Yeah.
What happens nowadays with, my kid is now a hairdresser, washing up hair, which is awesome. I love that. And she's like, and all the stylists have a little app on their phone, which is great. And I was like, there must be a better way of either doing like a QR on the thingy. It's interesting because how do you do it as well? And the education piece around it. Yeah. It's all different now, isn't it?
I think, especially since COVID's happened, where everything has gone cashless, that killed tipping as well. Yeah. Like, because people are like, oh, I just haven't got cash, so what's the point of tipping? Yeah. But we need to re-educate the general public and also give people within those sectors where they can earn more for going above and beyond that extra, that ability to do so.
No, I agree.
Obviously, there's so much more to the platform. The addition of the transparency, the kind of real-time earning app.
Because I think you have to set that policy, right? So the business needs to let everyone know what's going on, right?
And we can support a business in doing so. Nice. So really understanding what they want to harness from their employees, how much involvement they want from us, and then we're actioning it accordingly. Because the platform itself is just completely bespoke.
I like that. Okay, this is Sophie. Guys. This is Grateful. See you later.
Do you want us to look at this, or do you want us to?
I think we can look and talk. It's fine. It's already recording.
I'm gonna look at you.
You can look at me. Look into my eyes.
Look into your eyes.
This is great B-roll. We're sitting down. Hospitality Tech Expo. Hospitality Tech Expo, day 2. I have tracked him down. Christian, thank you.
They hoisted the flag. Yeah, so you can know.
Whenever he's here, look for the flag and come to the stand. So we've talked a lot about Tenzo. We've talked a lot about Christian before. Why
don't we talk about you for once?
We can talk about me if you like. No, I'm good. I talk about me enough. I just don't talk enough to the camera. But we're going to talk about the new stuff, because you always give me some little snippets of what's happening. So I'd really like to hear some new stuff. So most people already know Tenzo, which is great. So you don't need to introduce yourself, which is good. most people come on my podcast already know Tenzo.
I
Which
know.
is really nice.
And I promise you, I'm not paying anyone. I think it's 10 out of the 25. Someone called us out.
I think more is coming. So which shows testament to the product. So
that's good. Thank you. And thank you for doing that. I think the whole show is really good now.
Thank you. Well, to be fair, it's to come back on when there's like another 1,000 features because it's just keep going. On that note, if you can tell everyone or me the new stuff that's come out or coming out, or is it already live?
Yeah, we've got a bunch of stuff that's already live. So we've been working a lot for our customers in terms of making sure that they can customize all their reports. So all of the self-serve features are out where you can go and build pretty much whatever reports you want to now. You can put it on a dashboard. You can send it out automatically to your GMs. Your GMs will then be able to see that for the specific permissions that they have. So if they only see one site, they'll see the data for their site. The other feature that's just launched is alerts. This is the freaking coolest thing. I freaking love it. And I know when I was running Hummus Brothers, this is what I wanted. I didn't want to look at every freaking report and be like, is this good? Is this good? I wanted to be able to automatically set thresholds where I'd be notified if we're above. So
the important stuff, right?
The important stuff. So, let's say you get Tenzo to forecast your sales using AI, pushes it into your labor tool, planned day workforce, rota ready, etc.
Yeah.
We then can pull the planned labor and compare it to your forecast and alert you before the week starts, saying you get an automatic notification as the area manager saying, hey, your store in Soho is overstaffed or understaffed. And you can address that before. So
that's immediate stuff even before you've opening, right?
Exactly.
So you can make positive change and save some money, basically, right, as well.
Totally. So we've done a ton on that front, which is like all the visible bit there. We're also doing a lot. So, we're aggregating, then analyzing and predicting, and then driving action on the aggregation of the data, where there's so much to do because you're bringing in all this data and you need to make sure people trust the data.
Yeah.
And so we're bringing in a lot of technology there to really make sure that you can trust it. So we're proactively checking that data's coming.
Like clean data, basically.
It's clean data.
Yeah.
And we're starting to layer an AI on that to really be able to understand, like, okay, can we get notified ahead of time of, like, when there's going to be not clean data coming in so that we can make sure that the customer is really confident about that. So there's a lot happening on that front. This is the future, dude.
It is the future. I think the one thing I quite like about the platform is you're continuously evolving. And it's not just with Tenzo, we do this. And every time I speak to you, there's always more, which is great. And I did come to your little partner thing a little while ago, and I heard some of this before, which was pretty awesome. So I think that the thing I really like is that you've actually put. Are you beta testing this stuff with like some customers, and are they having positive change in how it's being changed as well?
So what we have now, like a really slick release in terms of product, because we'll go through an alpha, then we'll go through beta. So there'll be a handful of customers that we bring in to just try it out. Then that helps us iron out all the bugs, and then when we go live, it's tested. It's like road tested. But like the bit also I'm really excited about is starting to think about how we're layering AI in many different ways next year, like being able to like really generate your reports based off a prompt, being able to like
so natural language stuff as well, right?
Making sure that we're thinking about how do we think about checking the data when it's coming in, being able to automatically set thresholds in your data. So not even you having to think about, okay, well, I want to set this threshold, and like coming up with that automatically. There's so many use cases that we're testing now and that we're excited about.
There's a lot of features that can, if you're really au fait with Tenzo, you would be in the back end doing it yourself. But if a new customer comes in who doesn't know the full suite of it, those tools are really going to help. The bigger ones and the smaller ones, to be fair, it's like an autopilot, right? Is that basically maybe the plan, to have like an autopilot or a little sprite in the background?
Yeah, we've debated the whole sprite thing. I mean, I think there was a good talk earlier on AI generally, just really making sure that it's useful, and that's something that we're really thinking about deeply. Is like, we don't want it just to look cool and be like exciting, right? We want to make sure that it's actually delivering the results. And there's some really interesting use cases that you can use it for that we're really validating to make sure that actually the value you're going to get is not something that someone's going to play for like a couple of hours and they'll be, oh, that's cool, and then they forget about it. So we're spending a lot of time on that.
Sorry to talk about like money wise, but is that an additional bolt-on, or are you wrapping it into the cost of the platform?
So generally, we're still debating that bit a little bit, but there's a lot. When we release new features like this, to us, it's just like continuous improvement of the product that just comes in. It doesn't it's not like, oh, there's a new feature. I think there are some cases where if we're going to have to incur an extra cost to be able to do that, then it might be something that we'll be charging extra for. But generally,
I love that though. That's really nice to, you know, if you're making the product better, you're giving it to your customers, they see the value in the product, and you're keeping the customer.
Yeah.
So I think that's
and
really
they're
cool.
and they're raving about it to the next people.
Everyone's.
I mean, I was loving it yesterday when we had Tommy from Honest, like
Yes.
calling us out, and then we had.
And then
but
William.
by the way, he called you out, and you were on your phone. What was that about? And then we had William also calling us out from
Yes.
Noble Group and Wingstop. You know, like I think like there's some really. really
I
nice
think this
momentum
year
there.
they've done a good job with the talks.
Yes.
Because the operators who are really taking the tech like progressively have really talked about it, and those two talks specifically had a really great amount of people in, and everyone responded with great. And then yes, people obviously taking photos of everything. So I think
that what was so good about it is not only do those people understand the tech and understand the hospitality side, but they also were giving specific advice. You know, Tommy was saying, you know, this is how I go and shop for tech. These are the things you should check out. This is how you negotiate with them. This is how you're going to have to roll it out. And I think that's super.
Well, there's no selling,
actionable.
right?
And there's no selling. But I think if I was a restaurateur today walking into this place, I'd be like, oh,
so overloaded.
God,
the amount of POS providers, the amount of
labor tools,
everything, it's mental now.
Inventory tools.
Yeah.
And all of them have their pros and cons, right? But like as a restaurateur, I'm just like, how do I choose? And I think Tommy is guide there. And I think Chris at Tech on Toast is also talking about doing that, which I'm really looking forward to.
Well, his Totty thing is really clever.
Yeah.
So the little, you can WhatsApp the message. And you can say, what's the best analytical tools? What's the best this? And it will come back with.
I haven't tried it out yet. I need to try this out.
Me too. He said it yesterday. He said, we've been sending it some really dodgy queries and seeing what comes out. So I asked him, what's the best POS to see what actually comes out. And it's interesting.
Is it the one that sponsors?
No. I think Totty's agnostic. But no, it's really interesting. Same with the podcast. So if you type in Totty, what did Christian from Tenzo say? The podcast, all the podcasts have been ingested into it.
Nice. That's
really
cool.
clever.
That's
But anyway,
really
this is Christian. This is Tenzo. Come say hello. Oh, it's probably it's coming out tonight, so they won't come say hello. But visit their website, Tenzo. No, get Tenzo.
No, go Tenzo. Go
Tenzo.com.
Or just Google Tenzo.
Yeah, it'll be at the top anyway. But thank you very much. Thank you very much. Say goodbye to everyone.
Bye. Thanks.
Hello, this is Adam. This is Eric from Crunchtime.
Hi.
We're at Hospitality Tech Expo, day 2. I think it's probably going to be one of my last interviews because yesterday just killed me. But Eric's going to tell us a little bit more about Crunchtime. Like the logo, to be fair, and it's pretty cool. And some nice plethora of clients to hear as well. So tell us a little bit more about Crunchtime and the modules inside it.
Okay, so Crunchtime, born out of the restaurant industry. The original owner, 22 years ago, running a restaurant. Absolutely fed up of inventory management, managing it in his spreadsheets and on pen and paper. Designed his own solution, and then obviously it's just kind of morphed into what we see today. So the core areas for Crunchtime are inventory management, labor and scheduling. We also do task management and an LMS, so learning and development. The core pieces really are inventory management, and for this kind of market, also the task management. So that's the standard operating procedures down at the store level, and cascading that through the hierarchy, through the area, field, regional, up to head office.
Nice. And I looked on the website, so I did a little deep dive. You already have a Toast integration, which is pretty handy. And then I think you're about 10 integrations in on POS-wise.
I think it's a little more than 10.
Okay.
But I think
you got some nice big POS integrations in there, right?
Yes, definitely.
Nice.
So about a year ago, we developed what we call our Connects team.
Yeah.
And the reaction now to a new POS has changed dramatically.
Yeah.
So before it used to
be customer driven, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now it's, if I go to my team, all they really need is an introduction into somebody in that POS.
Yeah.
And usually the answer comes back, that's not a problem, Eric. We can.
I think probably nowadays most of the platforms out there are open, so it makes the barrier to entry a bit easier.